It's this one hard out to left center. Carrying out deep, could it be? It is gone.
And Jacobs with the punishing kill.
A two-run shot that ties the game.
Hyatt hits it over, and she's going to have a kill. Over to Boyd, inside to Gaddis. Spin move, puts it up, takes the foul, and knocks it down. Quan Connor takes the three, puts it up, knocks it down!
Welcome to another edition of the Storm Report. It's game week. David Noblet alongside head coach Mike Cochran. And Coach, game week is here, all the work, preparation during the summer, and now we're heading into NCAA as full members of Division II. Tell us real quick kind of what Division II and then being through this process has done for your program.
Well, I think one of the big things for football is now we have a conference that we're a part of that has enough teams to play a full schedule, and so it's really helped with the scheduling side of things. There's only one game defined. But the other thing is it's a very strong conference, and the level of competition raises the level of your program, and so what we're seeing is just higher talent level on signing day, and I mean that's going to be a huge benefit over time.
A lot of different guys have come in, changed some things up here a little bit from different schemes and whatnot. Let's go ahead and run down through some of the offensive guys. We'll start at quarterback. James Morrow, a transfer from Western Kentucky. Let's talk about who you got at quarterback and what all's going on there.
Well, James has done a great job through the preseason. He really has the intangibles for a quarterback. He understands things as a coach would understand them. Simple things from his reads, but even just his huddle presence and how he operates the offense.
All right, let's jump on down to in the backfield, running back, fullback. Let's talk about who you guys got there. Brian Yenner returns, which is he came on late last year, did a great job, and really kind of cemented himself as that guy to look forward to in the future.
Yeah, Brian is he's a workhorse kind of guy. Not real flashy. He gets the job done. He's dependable, and he does such a good job with his pad level, keeping his legs moving that very rarely will he be stopped on initial contact. There's always 1 or 2 extra yards after that first defender hits him. And I like our depth at tailback. We have several other guys who are going to be able to take a little bit of the load off of him, and a couple of them have been banged up, but as they get back with us, this fall, I'm excited to see the depth at running back. Fullback's another position that we're deep at, and those guys are pretty versatile. They can line up in the backfield and outside of the backfield, and they can also line up and be a big tailback for us. They're athletic enough to do that. Line up at tight end. So that versatility gives us the ability to do lots of different things with the same personnel on the field.
I think one of the strengths you guys have had over the years for sure is no short of depth in wide receivers. This year you return Austin Williams. You also get Jonathan Martin back, who's also on the return team. Talk about the depth you guys have at wide receiver. Well,
and we did graduate 4 senior starters at receiver last year, and so this is a young group. But the experienced guys between Jonathan and Austin, are doing a great job, and I'm excited about some of the young freshmen that we have. Very, very talented. Looking forward to seeing them play in their first college game. I don't think anybody will be disappointed.
Let's go ahead and talk about the tight ends. You got Pearson Wall listed kind of at that top spot right now. Let's talk about kind of what you guys have there.
Pearson is he's a great find. He was an 8-man football player and kind of did it all for his high school team and has really settled into the tight end spot. Has developed into a good blocker in addition to being pretty good with the ball in his hands. So we like what he brings, and we're pretty deep at tight end with Dakota Chandler, a returner who's going to add a lot there for our 2 tight end sets, but he can also be in the backfield and play fullback. And then Blake Rhodes, another young freshman, big kid that it will be good for us too. So
I know one of the big recruiting aspects you guys wanted to focus on was your offensive line this year. Talk about who you brought in and also who you got returning.
Well, we've got a good group of returners that had some game experience last year, but you know, some young guys that we're excited about. Christian Allen, you know, we'll see the field some on Saturday, and then Yvonne Masonette will get out there and help us too. Both are great additions, and the other young guys are coming along, and we look forward to, you know, a great 4 years with them.
On the offensive side of the ball, what are just a couple of goals that you guys are maybe looking at, or what's some maybe things that Crimson Storm fans can look at?
Okay. I mean, goals obviously would be to score. We want to put the ball in the end zone. But we want to be multiple. You know, we want to give teams fits by multiple formations and you know, being very diverse in what we do, and so that'll make us fun to watch. And one thing I will add about the offense, everybody except for one player is a freshman or sophomore on this offensive unit. So that's kind of the future is exciting because those guys are just going to get better with time.
All right, that'll work. We'll come right back and we'll jump on the other side of the ball. We'll talk about the defense. You're watching the Storm Report.
Being a front woman takes confidence, dedication, and more than a pinch of swagger. Lucky for Kim, she has Tinker Federal Credit Union on rhythm guitar. And with our mobile app helping keep her checking account in tune, she can focus on what's important. Nailing that next solo. TFCU. We get it.
Welcome back to the Storm Report. David Noblet alongside Mike Cochran. Coach, let's jump on the defensive side of the ball. We'll start the defensive ends. Anderson DeP, Ross Pryor set to go for game one.
Yeah, and Anderson had a really good spring. You know, really over the last year has come on. He's been in the program for 4 years, and also had a great fall camp. Just, you know, plays fast and plays with good pad level. And Ross Pryor is young, but we really liked him coming out of high school, and he's worked himself onto the onto the 2 deep.
Jonathan Archie set up for the game day one start at defensive tackle. Talk about the job that he did last year and then coming into his senior season.
Well, you know, this year is going to be night and day from last year, and a lot of times it is with transfers. He's so long and quick that he adds a lot. I mean, he's tough to block because he gets off the ball so quick, and so we look forward to him making plays this fall.
Talk about the depth that you've got between Harding and Johnson at nose guard.
Yeah, you know, Jordan Harding, you know, started last year, played a lot as a freshman, and did a great job. But he's taken that next step, just in terms of you know, his pad level, how he uses his hands, and then Jannard was a redshirt last year, and so he'll be a good addition. Just provide some of that beef in the middle that is hard to move.
On the offensive side, we talked about the depth of wide receivers. On the defensive side, it's always seemed to be the depth of linebackers. Talk about just that linebacking core and why you guys are so deep across the board.
As a group, this was probably the best group of linebackers that we've had, you know, just they work really well together, yeah, I like how downhill they play. You know, Larry Butler has been a great addition, you know, over the offseason, and is excellent in the run game. Matt Gregg has really become more versatile and has done a good job in not only the, you know, in our pass defense, but the run game. And then Mike Hicks and Blake Giles are returning starters, and so you know, they are the kind of your typical size linebackers, and will have great seasons.
Do you think bringing in a guy like Larry Butler and the growth of Matt Gregg helps Mike Hicks a little bit more, maybe to open up things for him, or maybe allows him to do more on the defensive side?
You know, it's really about the strength of the group, and you know, linebackers are not a spot where one guy's going to be highlighted. It's all about, you know, being gap sound and responsibility sound, and the more the better you are at that spot, then the better your other players are going to look around them.
Your defensive backs, when we talked about this a little bit before, are young, but it's an experienced young group. They picked up a lot of experience at the end of the year last year, and it's a group that is really looking forward to jump out on the field.
Yeah, several of the guys in the secondary, B.J. Smith, Josh Price, Dylan Parker. They last year weren't playing for us early. We made some changes, and they got on the field. A couple of them as true freshmen, and really got some valuable experience and grew through that, and have just continued that progression. And that will probably be from last year our most improved position group.
Last year, you guys had Jonathan Martin on return, so let's talk about a little bit with special teams. We'll jump on with Jonathan Martin. Just talk about the job that he did last year as a freshman, kind of taking on that role, and what his expectations are in the return game this year. A big part of being a returner is confidence, and I can really see that with him. And the nice thing is we've got several guys who can field punts and do something with it afterwards. B.J. Smith has looked really good, and probably will get some opportunities to do that. And then James Reed has tremendous speed and for our kickoff returns. And John Page has shown that he's very reliable in that area as well. So we're pretty deep. Like what Jonathan Martin can do, and I've seen his confidence grow. New kicker, new punter this year. New kicker Ross Moore, new punter Malcolm Davis. Talk about the job. What you think they can do this year?
Well, both of them I think will do a fine job. Ross has been with us for a year. This is his second year with us, and so he'll do most of the field goal and point after attempts. And Malcolm will handle the punting and kickoff duties. Look forward to see what Malcolm can do. I think he's got the ability to be one of the top punters in the league.
All right, finally, Coach, let's talk about the schedule. Kind of front-loaded for you guys as you get some of the higher-ranked teams up early. Talk about what you think about the schedule and what you expect.
Well, this conference is tough from top to bottom, and there's not a lot of separation from top to bottom. But if you look at last year's standings, we are going to play, 4 of the top 5 teams in the first 5 weeks, and again from last year. And it's a new year. We're a different team. We're a better team, and certainly everybody else is different. But it will start off in terms of the competition level being very high. We're going to have to be extremely focused, and just not to sound too cliche, but focus on the here and now. I mean, the current opponent, and not worry about who's next or who we just played.
All right, that next current opponent is Henderson State. Southern Nazarene will host the 8th-ranked Reddies on Saturday, 6 p.m. at the SNU football field. Coach, thanks for joining us. Good luck this year. Don't forget, you guys can follow us on social media. On Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, just search for SNU Athletics. Thanks again for watching the Storm Report.